Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Active Reload. It is episode 50. Half a century mark. We have made it. What's 50 in it's Roman numerals?
It's a V.
V. Episode V.
Well,
Welcome to episode V, like Cyberpunk.
X.
I hope it's V.
Jeez, I don't know. V is 5.
I think
Who
it's...
knows?
Oh, yeah, V is
it
5.
L? It's L.
It's
Sorry.
L. Ooh,
Sorry.
that's a better one there. How about this one? It's a W here on this one. How about that? Welcome to the show. A little bit different of a setup. Welcome. Got a big black bar right in between us because we're at odds constantly.
Yeah.
This void here is our feelings towards each other.
Yeah.
We hate each other.
Maybe I'll put
50 and our last.
Maybe I'll put some artwork up there.
Yeah,
right?
that's kind of the plan. The plan would put some artwork up there. It'll look a little bit better. Welcome to the show. Big stuff happening. Summer Games Fest could not have happened at a better time with episode 50.
Yeah.
We had a lot of stuff that a lot of trailers that came out, a lot of cool stuff that was shown and whatnot. We're going to go through both of our top 5 favorites that we saw, and then some disappointments we'll get to. Ubisoft had their forward as well. We might mention a little bit about that as well, and then what we're playing, and then we'll wrap up the show.
Yep.
Welcome to episode 50, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Okay, so Summer Games Fest, the biggest news item of the week, obviously. I think there are layoffs actively ongoing as well because they were trying to, maybe mix good with bad, but,
You're talking about
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. I don't know if there was official layoffs yet.
But there's rumors of, and they didn't make a lot of money with Suicide Squad. So
I think I read 200 million in the hole.
That's... Spending that amount of money on a live service game like that is not ideal.
Here's the thing. You don't give the live service job to people like Rocksteady.
Yeah. And then they also have, not they, but then there's also a Batman game coming out that we saw at Summer Games Fest. So it's a VR game.
Yeah, they didn't show any VR.
No.
They just showed Batman.
It's just Batman. I like the idea of Batman with the goggles on, though, and then it's like you, and then it goes into Batman, and he's got his goggles on.
It was actually made by the guys, or it's being made by the guys that did the Iron Man VR, which is respectable.
There's an
VR
Iron
game.
Man VR game? Wow. You could honestly, if you did Two Truths and a Lie, and the two of them were real VR games, and then the third was not a real VR game, I would not be able to guess.
Yeah, of course not.
Actually, you could do all three that were fake, and I probably wouldn't be able to find out if they were fake or not.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's true. Welcome to the show. Let's get into Summer Games Fest. It was the big news item of the week. There was trailers galore. There was good trailers. Some bad trailers.
3 days of it, pretty much, right?
3 days. It's basically E3 now.
So I think Microsoft's day kind of stole the show. Right?
Yeah,
Would you
no
say
pun intended. Yeah, I would say so. I would agree. I think they showed the most games.
Yeah,
and
a little too much actually.
They showed a ton of video games. I think they rented out a stage too, and there was probably like 4 minutes of actual developer talk in between like trailers. And I love the idea of Microsoft like renting out that stage and then just having 4 minutes. And they're like, yeah, whatever, we don't care.
They just burn money.
All these games, yeah. I mean, they can. So let's go through
your
my
top
favorites.
five.
Top 5 favorites. There's a ton of OLI. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
it looks like a dumpster fire because of how.
And these are your top 5
favorites.
Favorite trailers or most anticipated games that you're looking forward to?
I would say both.
Okay.
I would say favorite trailers that equaled to anticipation.
Perfect.
Right? Because that's kind of what a trailer's supposed to do anyways.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do.
So, yeah, top 5, kind of both. Top 5 favorite trailers that led to anticipation for these upcoming games. OLI, Assassin's Creed Shadows. We saw more of it today at the Ubisoft Forward. It was more gameplay. They did drop like a little trailer like before the actual show happened, and then they showed a lot of what the gameplay will look like. I thought it looked pretty good.
Well, the trailer they showed yesterday or Saturday.
Oh yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, they did have part. I think it was part of the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. And then they showed a lot more of it today because today was the Ubisoft Forward. Also, one that I forgot to put on here was Outlaws. They showed Outlaws today.
Yeah,
I thought it looked pretty cool. All right, that's kind of been your reaction the entire time when it came to Outlaws
is just, it's not because I'm not a fan of Star Wars these days. I think Outlaws is doing the Star Wars story pretty good. It's just the AI looks awful. They look terrible.
Yeah, well, it is Star Wars. That's what Star Wars is.
I know. We're actually going to get into that pretty soon.
Um,
AI.
When's the last time? The one thing that does make me nervous is I don't remember outside of the Far Cry series and the Assassin's Creed series that Ubisoft made a genuinely good open world. Which I know I'm like cutting out a lot of games there in Far Cry, obviously, and then Assassin's Creed, but it's been a while. These are the same guys that made The Division, though, and The Division's open world was, like, the first one was really good.
Yeah.
Even though the stuff around it wasn't
What's
great.
the biggest problem with that game, though?
Everything around it.
The horrible enemy AI and people just running at you with their heads cut off.
But that's one of the great New Yorks that was ever shown.
Yes, definitely.
So
heck yeah.
I got confidence in the open world and hopefully an interesting story.
I guess you're right.
Gears of War E-Day was shown. That was pretty cool. I liked that a little bit. It was a cinematic trailer, not a lot going on. They're going a direction I did not think they were going to go, which is a prequel, essentially. We already kind of have a prequel in Judgment, but that one's not very good. Probably the worst one of all the Gears games, to be honest with you. So it'll be cool to see the Coalition's take, more or less, on E-Day. Apparently they're going to explore, like, Marcus's relationship with Dom's brother Carlos, if I remember correctly, is his name.
Oh, really? So that's Carlos in there, not Dom?
No, I think that's Dom.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's Dom.
Yeah.
But they do have, like, I'm assuming you'll have like a whole new squad, like 2 other people as well, and one of them is probably going to be Carlos.
You think they'll have one of those guys that always wears a helmet and gets killed?
Oh, like Carmine?
Carmine, yeah.
Probably. Oh, yeah, the oldest Carmine, and then he dies on E-Day. That would be great. I would love that. So yeah, Gears of War E-Day, that looked pretty cool. One that maybe is getting slept on a little bit, Space Marine 2. It was quick, but it was awesome.
I've seen a lot of that, though. That's been in development for so long.
Yeah, but it got an official release. It was like September, I think, 2024. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's coming out on all the consoles, PC, and everything. It looked cool. Their trailer, it was a short trailer, but it looked pretty cool. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I know you want to talk about that more, so I'm going to touch on it briefly. Thought it looked really cool. I haven't played the Snake Eater game, so I might play this just because it looks really cool.
Is that if that's where? Remade. Have you ever played any Metal Gear games?
I've watched a playthrough of the first one.
Okay.
And that's it.
Of the first Metal Gear Solid?
The first Metal Gear Solid. Psycho Mantis.
Okay, gotcha.
Psycho Mantis. Fable. Outside looking in. The more I look at Fable in this trailer, I'll be honest, the less excited I kind of am.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they really didn't show as much as I would have wanted with how far seemingly progressed that I would assume that they are. But again, there wasn't a release date on this trailer.
No.
And it's still a lot of cinematic. They did show some gameplay, but it wasn't a whole lot.
It wasn't a lot. And they didn't confirm whether or not I can make my own character.
Yeah. It was the same character that they showed in the first trailer, which was forever ago that they showed. I can't remember the last time they showed it. But it was the same character from that trailer. So, yeah, one of the great things about Fable is being able to create your own hero.
Yeah, you're the hero.
And that was the overwhelming theme throughout the game. So, yeah, I mean,
she did kick a chicken, though, across like the horizon.
I think Playground is going to nail like the vibe.
Yeah,
and
too.
Playground, they make the Forza games, which is funny that they're now jumping into.
Yeah, but they're a
top level.
I mean, no, but they're a conglomeration of a lot of talent.
Oh, right, yeah,
from everywhere. A lot of racing games, but from everywhere.
Right. So I think they're going to nail the feeling, and they have so far with the trailers that we have seen. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, pretty solid trailer. Again, not a whole lot of gameplay. I would have liked to have seen more gameplay of that game. And
I do think as much as I want to see.
I thought the cinematic was great.
Yeah.
I still think it is kind of odd that they're using Harrison Ford's face, but I don't know how you get around that if you didn't. You know, that would just make it really awkward.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks good. Troy Baker, obviously.
Indy looks good.
Yeah. Troy Baker's going to do an amazing job. He always does.
He does.
And they also kind of got that like almost comedic vibe going in that
there is a
lot
lot of comedy in these shows.
Mm-hmm. Some of it hit,
90% of it fell flat.
Yeah.
And the ones that did were, the ones that you expected to be.
Yeah. And they stood out.
Yeah.
So we'll see about Indiana Jones. I'm still
I can't believe it. I thought you were hyped on this.
They really haven't shown a lot of gameplay, which makes me nervous. But it is machine games. They don't make bad shooty games.
No.
Like they haven't in a long time. All the Wolfensteins feel very good when you're shooting stuff. And I don't know how much you're going to shoot stuff because that's not really indie style.
You're in your OLI still, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm still in OLI.
Just wondering. I don't want to talk about it because it's not in my OLI.
It's not. Okay. It's in your...
Possibly.
Maybe. Okay. Perfect Dark. I thought that looked pretty cool. Also, mainly a CG trailer. They did show some gameplay. I think it was gameplay. That looked pretty cool. I haven't played any of the Perfect Dark games.
I'm telling you, I looked at it again today and or this morning, and some of that gameplay, the parkour stuff, I don't know if that was actual gameplay.
Right, yeah. I'm hoping it's what
I'm
Watch
hoping-
Dogs promised to be. That's the vibe I'm getting.
I'm getting a lot of mixed vibes with that game.
Okay. Well, Joanna Dark. She's perfect. Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
And then I actually left this out of my top 5 because there's not a lot in the actual trailer. Nobody Wants to Die. Did you watch that trailer?
Yes, I did.
It's awesome. It looks so cool. It's a neo-noir cyberpunk style.
Yeah.
Where like they figured out immortality, so there's people that are immortal, and it just looks really, really cool. The trailer that they showed, I don't think, and I also left it out because I don't think it was actually part of Summer Games Fest. It was just released around the same time. And the trailer looked cool. You're a detective. You're doing all this detective work and stuff.
Yeah, it
There
looks
was-
like a Sherlock Holmes
right.
mixed with some cyberpunk.
And in the trailer, they were doing a lot of like talking at you
Yeah.
through 2 characters, which I don't love.
It's a little too much voiceover.
Right. But I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked really, really cool. So I'm excited for that game. It comes out July 17th or 19th or something like that, which is like
That's
a month away.
Kind of crazy.
Insane. And then Stalker 2, OLI.
Okay.
Thought that looked cool as well.
Cool.
They should make a Stalker game, but it's an extraction shooter. Thoughts? I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
it's called Tarkov.
Yeah, I know, I'm joking. Then yeah, that's pretty much Tarkov. But yeah, Stalker 2 looked pretty cool. I've never played Stalker 1, so
you should play it.
But
Well-
should I play Stalker 2 if I haven't played Stalker 1? You think?
No, play Stalker 1.
Okay.
There's 3
It's on
versions.
Xbox, isn't
Yeah,
it now?
there's 3 games inside of it.
Okay. There's 3 games inside
Shadow
of
of
it?
Chernobyl. Oh man, don't.
It's like Half-Life 3.
Yeah, but it's like expansion packs. They're pretty big.
Okay.
They're practically 3 full games.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So I'll play Stalker 1 and then play Stalker 2. Stalker 2 has been in development forever, right?
Yep.
Development hell. And hell in general because you're in Chernobyl. All right. So that's my OLI. Probably the most OLI we'll ever see in the show ever.
Yeah.
I think that was about 9 games. But they are all, I mean, I'm very interested in a lot of these games. So number 5. Number 5 on my list here today of my favorites.
Go ahead.
South of Midnight.
Yep.
I thought that was an awesome trailer. I thought they were really, I was a little nervous at the start because it didn't look like they were going to show any gameplay. And then they got into it a little bit more. It looks like it has a ton of character, a great vibe to it. They're
Yep.
really kind of going the Bayou style, the South style, the Southern Bayou style, I guess. I just
Bayou?
said that twice, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
Down in
that
Bayou.
French style of
Yes.
Louisiana.
There we go.
Yeah, that's
the Creole.
Yeah,
There we go.
That's a type of food. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but you know what I mean.
But
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
I thought it was a great
American folklore and
Folklore, yeah.
especially in the South.
Yeah, it was awesome. I thought it was a really cool trailer. I'm very interested to see where it goes. There was a lot of. It reminded me of like. It felt like she was like the character in that section was kind of like in a dream, which I think they're going to
Yeah.
kind of like explore some more important themes
Yeah.
through, kind of like the way they do it in like It Takes Two.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think it looks cool. I think it's gonna be very good. I'm excited for it. It's probably the most unique, at least from the big showings that we
Out
got.
of all
Unique trailer.
all the amount of third-person action adventure games starring a female
Right.
protagonist
And corruption and
yeah. that one stood out the most.
yeah,
for
piqued
me.
your interest the most.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
That's also on my top 5. So
Yeah, great trailer. Loved it.
really, really good.
Number 4, definitely not on your top 5. This one,
Really?
number 4, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All they had to do was show that I could be a commercial pilot. I could be a farmer that goes over crops and weeds crops or whatever it is that they do.
The search and rescue part.
Search and rescue. You could
that
do
was
search
good.
and
That was
rescue.
cool.
You could be a cargo lifter helicopter. It's awesome. It's perfect. That's
don't you
exactly what I want from Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Don't you make fun of me for having the job-like games like
Yeah,
Mud
but-
Runner?
Right, but this is like they don't have one for planes.
They do
don't
now, I guess.
They do now, and it's all in one. So you're like, oh, I don't want to be a commercial pilot anymore today. So,
So
you know
am
what
I
I'm
going to
gonna
have to
go
buy
farm.
this again? Or this is probably coming to Game Pass?
Yeah, if it's Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I would
But
assume it's
Is it
coming to
going to
Game
be a
Pass.
separate game from
Yes, they're the one
last?
that's already out.
All right.
Yeah,
Is it going to have the entire planet mapped around too?
I think so.
All
From
right.
what it seems, it seems like this is kind of like a different
It looks
experience too. Like they weren't really showing a whole lot of like, hey, fly by the Empire State Building or anything like that. It felt
Yeah.
like it was more job simulation based, which honestly, I like that. That's great.
different. Yeah.
Awesome. I thought it was awesome. It's perfect. The simulator freaks are going to go crazy for this
It's going to
game.
be 700 gigabytes.
It's going to be 700 gigabytes, and it would still probably only be second to Call of Duty 6 because Call of Duty Black Ops 6 because that game is huge apparently.
It's going to be a terabyte to run that game.
Yeah, it's awful. But yeah,
right.
Flight Simulator 2024. That was awesome. That looks sick. I'm gonna be a commercial pilot so many days.
Okay.
Fly around.
keep going down the
It's
list.
gonna be awesome. Number three on my list, Mecha Break. This game was like in between some other big trailers, so it was kind of a lull in the. It felt like the trailers, but this was like an awesome trailer.
Did you like it right away, or did you like it on your second time?
Right away.
Okay,
I was watching it, and it was like, again, it felt like it was supposed to be a lull in the action, because I think it was like right after Indiana Jones, so they were talking, everybody had Indiana Jones on the mind. But this was awesome. Like,
It's like
this looks
Armored
so
Core,
cool.
but really fast. There's Strike Suit Zero. It's a game out right now for Xbox. Been out for a few years,
Right.
and it looks a lot like that. It's also really fast-paced mech assault.
It's a Gundam game.
Yeah,
but it's
Gundam.
not
practically.
Gundam, the
No, it's
whatever.
not Gundam. but-
Gundam. But it looks like Gundam.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It looks so cool. You're flying around. You're fighting other Gundams and stuff with your rocket launchers. Then you're stomping in midair. And
Looks like a
they
bullet
got
hell.
swords, too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It probably
Sick.
is a lot like Armored Core, but not so hard.
Yeah. Probably not. I would hope so. Because I think the perfect contrast to Armored Core would be something like this, where it's just you're very clearly the strongest thing on the battlefield. So yeah, Mecha Break was my number 3. Number 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yes.
I thought this trailer was awesome. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, actually.
Man, this guy is such a hater on
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna play.
Okay.
I'm gonna play the first one over the summer. It's my summer game this year.
Cool.
I'm gonna play it over the summer. I thought this trailer was really, really good. Seems like all the voice, and I knew this in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but all the voice acting and like the facial animations and everything looks really good in a lot of their
top notch.
cutscenes. It looks very, very good.
Now on console, you're going to be playing the Xbox One version or the PS4 version. It never got an upgrade.
I wish they would have announced like,
I
hey,
wish
by
they
the way,
would have
Series
announced
X upgrade.
Yeah,
or
me
something.
too.
But yeah, they didn't. But yeah, the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 trailer looked awesome. It was very well done. The music was great. And it made me want to hop on a horse and become a king of some kind.
Yeah.
It was
It's
awesome.
cool.
It was sick. So
Henry of Skalitz.
is that?
I tried to remember it last week. Remember?
Skalitz.
I said Deuce was going to get mad at me, and he was.
Sorry, Deuce.
Henry of Skalitz. Scallops?
Scallops? Scallops is a food. I hope it's scallops.
No.
I think
But
he's a big guy.
He's cool. He's a really awesome character. All the people around him are also awesome characters.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to play the first one.
Yeah.
Do you have to play the DLC? Because I know there's a bunch of DLC.
There is a bunch of DLC, and they're all really good, but no, you don't have to play it.
Okay. All right. I might pass on the DLC to be
I don't
honest with you.
think.
But
You might have to play one. But I don't
okay.
think so.
Well, whatever. We'll figure it out. If I'm loving it enough, maybe I'll just run into the DLC as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is my number 2. Number 1, no big surprise here, ladies and gentlemen. If you know me, you know I love this franchise. Doom, The Dark Ages.
Yep.
It looked sick. It was awesome. It was everything advanced-wise as much as I wanted. Like, you keep a lot of the core stuff from all the other Doom games that have come out, but they gave you a shield that you can throw like your Captain America. They gave Doom Guy
chainsaw shield.
Yeah, a chainsaw shield. You got a cloak as Doom Guy now. It looks awesome. And it was sick. You got melee weapons now that are more like fleshed out. It
definitely
seems like.
felt more open and flatter.
Yes.
Which is cool. It's not going for that arena style where you go from arena to arena and then bounce around, which I really like. I'm just saying it looks more open.
And then you can get into one of the giant mechs.
Yep.
Which was awesome. And you're fighting one of the bigger, I don't even know what they're called in the Doom universe, but demon guys that are huge, and you're like 1v1ing them. It's awesome. And then you can fly.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, Doom.
I thought it was
You gave
really
me
good.
everything. You gave me everything
And
I
it
could
was
have asked
also
for.
not too long.
Nope. It was quick. They got right to the point as well.
Yeah.
They showed Doom Guy getting ready and then just killing things. And I was like, this is exactly what I want.
Did you hear the music? Was it the same guy?
No, Mick Gordon is not working on it.
Oh, that's a shame.
But
I guess they're going for a new direction.
Right. They came they came at odds too. Like he was super pissed about how Doom Eternal was handled with his music and everything, which is, whatever. He's a creative, understandable.
He's had issues with a lot of developers.
Yeah. Which it does suck because he's great. He does unbelievable music.
Great.
But, I'm excited to see what they do. So that was my number 1. Doom the Dark Ages. Looks sick.
That's
I'm excited.
awesome, James.
So, your top 5.
Top 5.
You probably have 11 OLIs like I did.
No, we're going to go into our disappointments afterwards, right?
Yes. Yeah. Disappointments after.
Okay. Good stuff first.
Yeah. Good stuff
All
first.
right.
Always start with good stuff.
Here's what I like a lot.
Okay.
This is in front of my OLIs.
Like a lot in front of your OLIs.
There's a lot of new IP.
Yeah, true.
A
Not
lot
a lot of sequel
new
stuff.
Yes, not a lot of new characters and a lot of new titles. So I
Always
was
good.
excited about that. It goes in with what I'm disappointed to, but we'll talk about that later. So number 1, or OLI, sorry,
OLI number 1.
South of Midnight.
Wow, so it didn't even make your top 5.
Nope, I read that wrong. South of Midnight is in my top 5.
Okay, nice job. All right.
Killer Bean, I mean.
Restart.
OLI.
Yeah.
Killer Bean.
I have no idea what this game is.
I
saw
made
the
by a
trailer
couple
for this.
people or a few people
Yeah,
or maybe
Killer
even
Bean
one.
Studios is what it's called. It's actually called Killer Bean Studios. I have no idea what this game is. I was so confused when
The
I was
guy
watching
worked
it.
on the Matrix before, so
Yeah.
it looks very Matrixy. But you're a bean, looks like a potato.
You look like a bean, a fava bean.
Yeah, and then a lot of like gun fu. Is that what you would call it?
Yes.
There is one part in the trailer where he's
Gunjitsu.
fighting a gigantic mech, and it's in water, and the mech puts his foot down and makes a giant splash, and the bean like flips up from the splash and then starts shooting rockets and stuff. I don't know. That really got me. So that's gonna.
Killer Bean.
I'm definitely gonna be playing this.
It reminds me of Conquer a little bit.
It does, and it doesn't look like a $17 game. So
Right.
and that costed $150 million
Right.
to make.
Hopefully they make money on this.
Yeah.
If not, something went awry.
Then Stalker 2, we talked about. That's on my OLI.
Looked good.
I thought it looked good. I wanted more though.
Yeah, understandable. That's kind of how.
They did
That's kind
show
of
a
where I
lot
was.
more, but I think I wanted more in the gameplay department. I don't know about the gunplay. It looks a little stiff.
It reminded me a lot of Metro when I thought it was a Metro game when I first started watching it.
Metro's working on that VR game, which I thought looked a lot better than Stalker 2, and I would have never said that a year ago.
Yeah. To be fair, these guys probably not in the best circumstances when it comes to development.
No, I know, but they've moved around, and they were supposed to come out over a year ago.
Yeah.
So
a lot of stuff has happened in a year, though.
Yeah.
For those guys.
Expedition 33, OLI.
Oh, man.
So what's the full title of this game?
Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Terrible name.
I was really not liking the mini third-person action games that were inspired by Dark Souls. And then this game came out, and it was like, boom, we are a JRPG turn-based strategy like Final Fantasy X. And I was like, I'm sold. I like it already.
I'll talk more about this game in my disappointments.
He went through then a disappointment within 30 seconds.
It was very much the intro to that game was very cool, or to that trailer was very cool with like the story and what they're talking about. I was like, okay, this is very interesting. Could be cool characters, interesting plot line, and then it got into like the gameplay, and I was like,
the enemy design looks like everybody's doing this Souls thing. Jeez, man.
Or corruption. Everybody's corrupted.
Everybody's corrupted.
Yeah.
Mecha Break.
Awesome.
That was in your top
Sick.
5, right?
Yes.
This
Number
is in my
3.
OLI. And Doom was in my top 5. Or I mean my OLI. Sorry.
You gotta remember the words.
Not because I was disappointed anyways. I don't know. I'm happy that a lot of purple and pink and yellow ammo and guns aren't flying out of their bodies.
At the
when you
very
shoot
least,
them.
they hit it very well.
Yeah. So I liked that, but I was still, I don't know. I kind of want Doom to go on a different direction. Maybe this is a very different direction.
It is a prequel, so there is going to be...
There's something different about it, but I want it to be pushed a little bit. I want the difference from Doom 3 to Doom 2016.
Okay.
But
that would mean they would have to go backward to like Doom 3.
I don't want them to go back to a horror genre.
No, I don't either.
I just want them to it to look different, feel different, but whatever.
I think it'd be cool.
All right, top 5.
Top 5.
South of Midnight, number 5.
Hey, we both had it in the same spot.
South of Midnight is cool. We talked about it, but we didn't talk about the animation. This has a very
unique.
I don't know what you call it. It's the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember what you call it. It's not cell shade. It's because cell shade's like Borderlands.
I don't know what it is.
It's almost comic booky.
Yeah.
That style because
it's got like a frame thing that they're doing. Almost
there were a lot
motion.
of games that did that in this year for whatever reason.
Well, this game does all of that pretty good. I was really sick, like I said, of the Dark Souls inspired stuff that was coming through, and I thought this was going to be the same thing again, but it was more closer to like Jedi,
right?
The Jedi games, and it was good.
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. It reminded me. I don't know if Jedi games is maybe the right, because it looks a little bit more
with Jedi games
fluid
with better level design.
Well, yeah, and more fluid, like in terms of the movement that she has. She has like a grapple hook and everything too. So
I loved the character, the frog or the fish that she was. It was a catfish.
Yeah,
that she was riding on. The humor was good.
Yeah,
very whimsical.
It felt like it was made in New Orleans because it felt like they knew a lot of.
And thank you for not making her look like the East German swim team, which I appreciate.
Right.
So number 4,
Number 4,
Indiana Jones.
Flight Simulator. Oh,
No,
did Flight Sim not make your list?
no, not at all. I'm not interested in the
Oh,
flight
God,
sim.
it's so cool.
So boring. Even if I'm rescuing somebody, I'm gonna be bored.
Come on, dude. Life and death.
Maybe if I had a whole
Bering
rig
Sea.
and a flying rig and stuff. I'm glad they're bringing
Yeah, true.
helicopters.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, sorry. Number 4 was Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. I thought
Good trailer.
the humor was really
Yeah, they nailed
very
it.
indie.
It did get a little. I was a little nervous at the beginning because it felt very serious at the beginning of that
Yeah,
trailer.
then he was
and
like-
then the guy's like choo choo, and he was good. It was really funny.
Yeah,
It was well
Good
done.
job.
I'm
So,
excited for that.
I think
I'm
that-
excited.
I really wanted to see more of that bad guy, and I think
So
he
did I.
threw him off the edge of the cliff.
No, he hits one of his goons off the edge of the cliff. The other guy lives.
Okay, so the
Pretty
choo choo guy lives.
Yeah, I'm
I hope he
pretty sure
lives.
he gets away.
So Machine Game does that. They do really good bad guys and good
Yes.
characters and caricatures of people. It's pretty cool.
They love making. They're really good at making bad 1939 to 1945
Yeah.
German people.
I'm a little sick of zombies and little sick of these because I think they're just very easy to be cannon fodder. So I didn't.
Indiana Jones.
I wasn't disappointed with this.
No, that
I
was
kind
good.
of want to see what the AI looks like because I know Machine Games and their other Wolfenstein games,
Yes.
the AI kind of stand around and do nothing.
Yeah, they're very. It's more about like the variety of bad guys that you run into
Yeah.
versus the good, or how good they actually play.
Yeah. So then Avowed is number.
Oh yeah,
3.
I didn't even have that on my list. I'll be honest with you.
I think a lot of people were not too happy with this trailer.
Really?
I think they weren't disappointed. It was just like
Yeah, that's where I was. It was, meh.
What I think about Avowed is the trailer didn't showcase what I'd be doing in that game.
Yeah,
I'm going to make that game my own, and it's going to be a lot different than that trailer.
It felt a lot closer to like Elder Scrolls Online, to be honest with you. The way they were
Really?
like talking to
Oh,
you
no.
and like what the objective is in the game and whatnot.
Elder Scrolls Online is very janky combat and bad
yeah.
animation.
Well, I just mean like how it was presented.
Yeah, I got you. One thing I like about Bethesda is not Bethesda.
Obsidian.
Obsidian is
Yeah.
their player choice
Yes.
and the ability to change the outcome of a situation you're in using like speechcraft.
Oh,
So,
right. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing that with this character.
They're also very good character writers,
yeah, definitely.
which is
They're very good
something that's
writers in
appealing.
general.
Yeah,
One of the best.
They're very, very good at what they do over there.
All right, number 4.
No, 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. Hit me with
Kingdom
it.
Come.
Yeah, good pick. Good pick.
Kingdom Come Deliverance, and
Good trailer.
thought that was really good.
It was
We
also
talked about it.
the trailer was also pretty funny.
The trailer was really funny.
Yeah.
Henry Skeletts is a funny guy. You should play as him soon.
I will play as him soon.
It's really good. And then don't get so frustrated with the combat. And you're supposed to
Yeah.
suck. Just get your butt kicked for a little bit,
Okay.
and then you'll love it. You'll
That's
love it.
a daunting thing to ask.
So, and 30 frames doesn't bother you?
no.
Okay.
I never
so
will.
you're gonna be playing the old one happily.
That's all right. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
with it.
One
Get
of my
over
most anticipated games. Does this have a date on it?
I think
it said
I think
2024?
it said 2024. I can't
A
remember
lot
the
of
exact
these
date. but
games
yeah.
don't have dates. They
Yes.
say 2024 or 2025, but it's not a date. That's a year.
I'm gonna look it up.
And it's not enough for me. I need to know.
There was one that came out today, or at the Ubisoft Forward. It was Prince of Persia. They're doing a Sands of Time remake.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe they showed it today because it said coming 2026.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're gonna get GTA
Excuse me?
5 before or GTA 6 before we get Prince of Persia Sands
That's
of
funny.
Time remake.
Probably not, though.
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Number 1. Can I give you my number 1?
Number 1.
Metal Gear Delta. Metal Gear Solid
right.
Delta.
Yeah,
Oh, man. I'm so pumped up for this game.
that was a really good trailer.
I'm glad that they have kept it looking the same, but new.
Yeah,
The scale looks the same, which is very close quarter jungle-y. And they showed a lot of CQC combat, which is a big thing in this game, the original. They didn't show all the cool bad guys, but they did show the original big boss, and she was awesome looking.
yeah, she looked great. And they
Something that's very hard to do is to make your PS2
yes
characters
look better
or the same but better. And wow, they nailed it. Good job, Konami.
No official release date on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 yet, but
Okay.
2024 is
Yeah.
what they said. So, but yeah, I thought Metal Gear Solid. Again, I've never played the game, so when they showed Big Boss at the very end, I was like, oh, she's the must be important.
Yeah, she is.
I don't know
important.
who it is, but she's got to be important.
I mean, so is Solid Snake or Naked Snake.
Right.
And
Stupid. I don't
these
know.
are code names.
Well, yeah. Okay.
I think his name is Jack. They actually mention it right in the beginning. Jack. So it also uses the same voice actors from the PS2 version, and it sounded better. So everything was the same, but looked and sounded better.
I thought
Couldn't be more happier with it.
Wait a minute.
Have
Hold on.
no issues with this trailer or this game at all, other than it's made by Konami. But I'm
True,
hoping
yeah.
from what we've seen so far, this looks like it's going to be amazing.
When it first came, it was a Kojima game when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's I don't know. They shouldn't remake
Here's the
rechange
thing
things.
about this game: they show a lot of the times in the subtitles and the opening credits, Kojima's name a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's the god of
So-
video game, other than Sid Meier.
But I wonder if they're going to even mention his name.
Which, by the way, really quickly,
Yeah.
Sid Meier. We were way
Civ
off
7.
on our 2K announcement.
Oh, what was it?
Borderlands, Mafia. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
It was Civ.
Yeah, Civ 6 or Civ 7?
7, which made me very sad. But
It looked really good.
Hey, you know what? I understand. There's plenty of Civ fans out there. More power to you. Can't get into it myself. But when they said next iteration in one of our biggest franchises, Civ didn't even cross my mind, which it probably should have because it's a huge game. But
Yeah,
it made me sad that it was Civ.
yeah. So Metal Gear, I'm pumped.
I thought Big Boss, Phantom Pain.
Yes,
That's That's you in Big Boss in Phantom Pain.
Yep.
You're Big Boss.
yes.
How does that work?
Well, what do you think happens? So
I don't know, dude.
Okay,
There's Naked Snake. There's Clothed
here you go.
Snake.
You're about to give you a quick rundown.
Don't spoil it if it's a spoiler,
not gonna
because I do want to play Delta. Triangle. I want to call it Triangle.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid Triangle.
I'm glad that they are not calling this Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. They're calling this Metal Gear.
This is the third
Delta.
one, though, technically, in the series.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was.
Okay.
I mean, no, not technically. It's you
It's
got
the
Metal
prequel.
Gear, you got
Oh God. Yeah, I can't.
you got the
stand
Nintendo
this.
games or the Super Nintendo games.
We're
and-
getting into Final Fantasy territory.
yeah, the regular Nintendo games, and you got this PlayStation 1 game. Oh, gosh.
It does
There's
look.
a
It
whole
looks
bunch.
amazing.
So
I'm
Boss-
excited to play it.
in this game is
A woman.
a woman
Yeah.
who used to be good.
Okay, but now
She's
she's
now
not
bad.
good. Okay.
You play as Naked Snake,
Metal Gear.
who eventually becomes Big Boss, who you are fighting against from the conception of Metal Gear. So Metal Gear Solid 1, the one that you watch play
Yes.
with Psycho Mantis,
Psycho Mantis.
you are playing Solid Snake, and you're fighting against Big Boss or his group of people. You're about to get.
I don't understand.
I can't wait. It's so awesome.
So wait a minute. Is Snake Eater a prequel to the first game then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. Wow.
Metal
what
Gear
a.
Solid 3 is a prequel.
So wait a minute. Is
So Metal Gear
Naked
Solid.
Snake? Is Naked Snake they're related to Big Boss?
I don't know.
I know that because at the end of the first one
Yeah.
they mention it.
How do they mention it?
At the end, he's like,
I don't want to spoil
the
anything.
villain. He
Okay.
said he's like, we're
Yeah.
brothers, aren't or something
Yeah.
like that, because there are brothers. I
Yes.
can't remember who the villain is. What his name is? It's
yeah, I know.
you know who I'm talking about. Though.
Solidus? I don't know.
If you're a Solid Snake and you're
What's his
fighting
name?
somebody
I
named
can't
Solidus,
remember.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah. You.
But yeah, you're they take like the seed of, which is a weird way of saying that, of Big Boss, and they turn and make a bunch of people
Yeah, pretty much.
essentially.
Well, the whole point is like making super soldiers
Right.
out of Big Boss's
Big Boss's
DNA.
DNA
Yeah.
and seed.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there,
Okay.
That's it. That's my
And
top
that's a
five.
prequel. So you're not. So in Snake Eater, you're the guy that eventually becomes Big Boss?
Yeah. You
Okay.
play yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're
You play the
you're
same guy.
dude.
You
Gotcha.
in Metal Gear, in Ground Zeroes, and Phantom Pain. That's the same guy.
Okay, but not in the first one. First one's a different guy.
Yes.
Okay.
They're both voiced by David Hayter.
Yeah, that makes it so much harder.
Well, of course, it makes sense
No, it
that they're
doesn't.
voiced by the same person.
No, I
They
do
are
not-
the same
I
person.
don't sound like my dad.
They're clones.
but we're the
or
same
sons.
DNA.
My son probably sounds like me. when he
My
gets older.
my mom has a twin sister.
yeah.
They don't sound the same,
Okay.
even though they share the exact same DNA.
Okay.
They don't sound the same. Doesn't make any sense.
Well,
But Kojima, you know what? You're a genius. You're the smartest guy on the planet.
Why you're such a Kojima hater, and then he always knocks it out of the park. Always.
Really? Always knocked it out of
Always.
the park, dude? Tell it to the Silent Hills game that never happened.
Oh, that wasn't his fault. Might have been half his
Whatever,
fault,
dude.
but
Death Stranding, most confusing game I've ever seen.
the
It's
game's
a
awesome.
Walking simulator. Hey, you're a FedEx
The
delivery
greatest
man.
walking simulator ever.
Stop, dude. You're a FedEx delivery man.
All right, so now we're going on to
Disappointments. Yeah, there was some.
You want to backfire? You go, then I go. Then
Yeah,
you
let's go back and forth.
Okay.
We might have the same ones on
I
here,
know.
and that will lead to us having a conversation. But I guess not number one, but the most glaring disappointment for me was Skate.
Yeah.
They keep telling me this game exists and that it's happening, and I'd like them to just show me that it's
At
actually
least they're
happening.
showing something.
They're showing they showed a little bit at the end of that trailer. It was a 4-minute trailer.
Yeah.
And 3 minutes of it was Tim Robinson just talking to me. And I didn't need any of that. Didn't need any of that.
Explain who Tim Robinson is.
He's a famous comedian. He's been in a lot of Netflix shows. There was a very popular Netflix show that he's in that I can't remember the name of. But very famous comedian. I think he's actually really funny, but I just didn't need him talking to me for most of that trailer. And then they showed a little bit of some gameplay and stuff, but it was a lot of the same stuff that you see in like Skate 3 in terms of like the moves and all that stuff. And then at the very end, they're like, guess what? We're play testing this on consoles. And I'm like, this is how far we are? Yeah, this is how far we are with this video game. And you're showing me a 4-minute trailer of Tim Robinson only to tell me, hey, we're only play testing. Skate, stop telling me you exist and just make the video game. All right? I'm so tired of this. Just make the video game so it actually happens. And then when it comes out, show it.
Meanwhile, you're getting 2 games that are in the, the gamut of skateboarding games now.
Yeah.
With Skater XL and Session. And those are fantastic video games. So you have an opportunity to be better.
Right.
I think Skate 3 will be better. It's just
Skate 4.
Sorry, Skate 4.
Yeah.
It's going to be Skate.
So it's just Skate.
There's already been a Skate.
I know, it's stupid. I hate it too.
And it's backwards.
I think it's going to be a live service game, I'll be honest with you. That's why they're calling it Skate, because it's a reinvention, I would imagine.
Whatever. It'll make a good live service game.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense for it to be a live service. It kind of, the first one kind of
Basically,
was.
all sports games should be live service games.
Yeah. The third one kind of was a live service game.
Yeah.
When you look back at it.
I thought the third one was just a little, I didn't like it as much as part 2.
I loved Skate. I still go back and play Skate 3.
I think part 2's the city is so good.
Yeah.
And 3, the
That's fair.
city's not that good.
It's not
but
as
the
interesting.
mechanics are better. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so easy to jump into Skate and just start flipping tricks. It's awesome.
It's fun.
But yeah, this trailer, I was like,
okay.
It takes way too much time to not say anything.
My disappointment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dragon Age. What is it called? Dragon Age something? I don't care.
This is the third one, technically, right? Because I think there's a lot of these.
No, there's
Age
Dragon
games.
Age 1 and 2, and then the Dragon Age Inquisition, and now this one, which is the Veil or something.
Yeah,
Veilguard.
Veilguard. That's what it is.
Bad name, bad characters, bad writing, bad voice actors, bad whatever that character was. She was the main character. Because you pick a lot of characters in Dragon Age games. The one they showcase, bad.
Well, I think they show a couple different things, like because they're asking you, they're like giving you the option to pick a class essentially. Yeah,
but
there was a lot of that.
I'm mostly disappointed because this is a BioWare game.
Yeah,
BioWare. Do any of our audience understand who BioWare is?
Yeah, talk about
these guys made some of the greatest video games of all time, back to back to back to back.
Arguably the greatest sci-fi franchise in the history of video games.
Sci-fi franchise? Obviously the greatest RPG developers in history. Yeah. Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They made Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Neverwinter Nights. Wow. I mean, they go back far.
I always think
Jade Empire?
Jade Empire.
I love that game. Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Another great game. Yeah. The greatest Star Wars game, probably.
Knights, and then obviously Mass Effect. We're not even talking
Mass
about
Effect.
Probably
the greatest trilogy in video games.
Probably the greatest trilogy. And then
the original Dragon Age, which is fantastic, even though when it came out it was a little graphically behind, but it was still really, really good. Oh man, these guys are great.
That was like kind of that game really leaned into like the hyper fantasy post the release of like A Song of Ice and Fire, which
what
was
are you talking about?
Dragon Age 1.
Dragon Age 1, yeah.
Because that was like when George R.R. Martin first released the first Game of Thrones book.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we need to make a game similar to this.
Yeah.
And they did, and it really leaned into it, and a lot of people loved it because of that.
It's awesome.
And it's been a good series. Like Inquisition was pretty well renowned, even though I didn't love it.
It came out at a time. It came out 2014. It came out one of the worst years in video game history, but it was pretty good. I liked it a lot.
I remember that game winning Game of the Year from some places.
Yeah, it was IGN gave it Game of the Year, and it was like, ooh, it's not that good of a game, but it wasn't. The competition wasn't great.
Right.
Yeah, biggest disappointment by far.
I'm nervous because, and it makes me sad because BioWare is, like you said, they're legendary.
They're just gone.
But they're not the same. Yeah, it's
same thing happened to Rare.
Ship or whatever.
Happened to Rare. Rare used to make some of the greatest games ever, and GoldenEye, and then all the way down to
Conquer.
Oh man, a whole bunch.
Yeah.
RC Pro-Am,
Banjo,
on Nintendo.
They make Banjo-Kazooie. Is that right? Or no? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember. And then Conquer, Rare game as well. And what happened to them, by the way? I don't even remember what else.
Microsoft bought them, and then they just died. But they made Perfect Dark, GoldenEye.
Right? Yeah, Perfect Dark. That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
Crystal Dynamics is working on the new one. Did you know that?
I know, it's kind of strange.
It is strange.
Crystal Dynamics, I think they're good. That's why it looks kind of like Deus Ex a little bit.
Yes,
because Crystal
it looks
Dynamics
very
made
Deus
the
Ex.
modern Deus Ex games.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And I like that. I think it looked great.
Your turn.
Okay, so that was Dragon Age.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten into it enough to even put it on my list. So
okay.
I don't know. So next one on my list was, and I think this may be a hot take for some people, I don't know, Delta Force Hawk Ops.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought this game looked very... There were some points where they showed some cool action going on, I guess, but a lot of like the kills looked very stale, and a lot of like the actual animations itself looked very stale and rigid, I guess is what I would say. And they're also putting their remake, because we talked about this before the show, the Black Hawk Down game that came for PS2, it's being remade into this game as a campaign.
Yeah, I know.
So
I love that PS2 game. One of my favorite shooters on PS2. Probably my favorite.
I don't love that they're adding it into this. I wish they would just remake that game instead of adding it into a separate entity, it seems like.
Yeah.
And with some of the combat that I saw in this game, I was like, it's okay, I guess. It doesn't look like anything is actually hitting.
No,
if that
it
makes
doesn't.
Sense.
You're right. There's no oomph to any of the guns.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like you're kind of shooting cardboard, to be honest with you.
It seems like, and it's probably true, these developers have never fired a gun.
Yeah,
they watch a lot of movies.
Team Jade is the name of them.
Team Jade, they're the Chinese company, right?
Is that true?
I
No
think
way.
So. Yeah, there's a China was
that's so funny.
Very big in this in these game fests.
Yeah, true. They had a big showing.
I will talk about it pretty soon. And disappointed, it's not because they're coming from China. Just I'll tell you in a little bit.
It's so funny that whoever had the original IP for the Black Hawk Down game is like, we're gonna have China make this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if. No, probably not. Because I don't know who it's being published by. I can't remember. But I would assume it's an American company publishing it.
I think so.
So
I don't know.
We'll see.
Actually, I don't think so, actually.
Oh, really?
I think it might be one of those 10-cent games or whatever.
Oh, wow. So I'm interested.
Or NetEase.
So that's interesting because I'm curious to see if they have... Because they're remaking the campaign of that Black Hawk Down video game, which is a very real story that actually happened.
In Somalia.
So I'm curious to see if they actually tell that story truthfully.
Well,
if it's truly coming out of China.
I don't know. So the Delta Force games were great back in the day.
Yeah. Those were made, were those made in China?
No, they were made in I don't know. They weren't Chinese, but I think they were bought in the big transition of games that happened a few years ago, 4 years ago, where everything was being sold and bought, like the Gearbox, all those games.
Yeah.
All those 2K licensed games and
BioShocks and whatnot.
So
that's curious. I'm interested to see what they do with that.
I think I was interested. I wasn't that disappointed with it because I'm just looking forward to that remake. But it's a free to play game, of course.
Yeah, I guess.
And
it's coming from China. It's probably a free to play game.
Yeah. Well.
So your next one.
Disappointment. I'm gonna do two. That's okay.
That's fine. Back to back.
No Valve was there.
True. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
No Valve.
Yeah. Wow.
And they have games that are lined up and rumored and leaked. So
what do you think they would have shown?
Oh man, I don't know.
Okay.
I would have loved to see Valve talk about porting Alex to PS5 VR.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. Sorry. I mean,
no,
they don't work on like.
Well, I just want to know what they're doing.
Exterior like product very often.
They work on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I know that, but I don't know.
Something like that.
It's very secret over there.
It's also like that's kind of their seller for not Oculus. What's the
Index?
Yeah, for the Index essentially. I
Yeah,
can't see
but
them
you can still
porting
play it on your Rift. Not your Rift. Jeez.
Yeah, that's the
your Quest.
old Oculus one. Yeah, that's right. You can play it on the Quest.
Yeah, you just gotta hook it up to your computer.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So,
But it's through Steam.
Yes, you do through Steam.
Yeah, they're still getting a good portion
All
of
right,
that.
and then because I wanted I need to say this.
Go ahead.
The amount of run-of-the-mill action-adventure third-person Souls-like games are out of control.
There were a lot of them.
And I'm going to name the Chinese-made games / Japanese-made games.
Yep.
Black Myth Wukong.
Yep.
Kunitsugami. It's a Capcom game.
Yeah.
Phantom Blade Zero.
Yeah.
Wu Chong Fallen Father.
It's insane that we're getting a Wukong game and a Wu Chong game.
And Flintlock Siege of Dawn, which is made by the guys who make Ashen, which I think is a really good game.
That was kind of a cool trailer too. I like
these are all Souls-like games. Like you cannot distinguish them from each other at all.
They made the genre.
I mean, even the Expedition 33 kind of looked the same, but it's a different game.
It's much more of a JRPG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pick Wukong because that's the one I liked originally, and even though I can't tell the difference between them, Souls-like games. My God,
it's like,
what are you doing?
We're going through like the battle royale version of what Souls-like games are turning into. We're just seeing a bunch of remakes.
Good luck trying to sell Wukong and Wu Chong and Phantom Blade Zero and Kamutsugami / something.
Yeah,
these games all individually they look kind of cool. But
together,
they're literally coming out within 6 months of each other.
Yeah.
So I couldn't handle it.
Which of those? I'd probably Black Myth Wukong is.
That's one I'm gonna get. Yeah. But I really like the Flintlock. I don't know the main character.
That was good. That was a good trailer.
It was a good trailer, but those guys I think they're really cool. They usually don't have any facial animations in any of their games, which I think is cool. But they like cover it with like weird art direction or masks or helmets and stuff.
That's a good way to do it.
And this one has like they put a lot of effort into it, and it just got drowned out because of. I mean, there's also other 2D animated games that are Souls-likes that look good. I was like, oh, I see a stamina bar, and a big boss, and enemies that have look like nightmares, and corruption. I'm done with it, man.
There's a lot of them. They're everywhere. What can you say? Speaking of, disappointment for me.
Yeah.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33. The trailer started off so good. I was like, man, this looks awesome. Cool story, interesting plot. They're going on an expedition to try to prevent themselves from dying because when it writes a new number, you die. That's why it's Expedition 33 because the age is 33. And I was like, this is awesome. Seems very cool. What's the gameplay look like? Oh, it's a turn-based strategy game. You're trying to beat the clock.
Yep. And not beat the clock. What do you mean?
You got to beat the timer because if she goes down to 33, the painter or whatever, the artist, then you die. So you're trying to it's a race against time.
It's like an active time battle system.
You're a race against time, and you're playing chess. And knowingly, not a very fast way to play the game.
And there was a lot of like button prompts, a la a couple of good ones from the old PlayStation days.
I hated it.
Panzer Dragoon Saga. It was like that.
Yes.
Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah. I saw this and I was like, man, that makes me really sad. I hope they come out with a mod that makes it a live action action game. That'd be awesome.
Well, I mean, it looked like Final Fantasy X, but modernized.
Persona, but like combat-wise, Persona.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Persona that way. But I love the idea of them racing against time so that this painter doesn't write the number 33 on or whatever and kill people. And then they're like, we got to wait for our enemy to make the next move. Yeah. And then we'll make our move. And then they'll make their next move.
Yeah.
So silly. But whatever. It's, it's not for me. It's just not for me. It never has been for me. Mm-hmm. So whatever. Do
you have any other disappointments?
I do. I have 2 more.
Oh, geez. You want to fire them out? We got 10 minutes.
We're down to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Okay. Fragpunk. Another dang 5v5 hero shooter. Awesome. And then this time they're adding cards into it. Awesome. I can't wait to play that again.
You said something where you're like, oh, I bet they watched the day before and they were like, oh, darn it.
Yeah, they saw PlayStation do their state of play and show 2 hero shooters.
Yeah.
And then Xbox was like, oh, dang, we're in trouble. Because that's what Fragpunk is. It's another one. It's probably just gonna be lost to time, to be honest with you.
And guess what? The same stupid art style, hyper pink action,
spray paint. Yeah, neon colors.
That's as far from punk as you can possibly get at this stage now. Change a name, first of all, and
you're very in style when you're doing.
Put a big gray filter over it to save yourself.
I saw this and I was like, great, dude, awesome. Another 5v5 multiplayer shooter, awesome, love it. And some of the card stuff does look kind of cool.
Yeah,
like
it does.
You can do a card that turns the enemy's heads big.
Yeah.
You can do it so it grows grass on the field that you can kind of hide in between. Kind of cool. And then it was like, use your ultimate ability, and I was like,
oh my God!
Please,
maybe that's why Valve didn't want to show anything, because they were cooking up another hero shooter, and they're like, nope.
Yeah, can't show this. That one was annoying. And then mixtape. Yeah, really good music, and I think that's how they're going to get a lot of people.
It's called mixtape, and they show a CD.
Right. It's not a tape. Gotcha. They burnt the CD. They have a lot of good music though, and I think that's how they're going to sell a lot of people in this game, is because they have a lot of really good music. That's how they could get me. But they really did not tell me anything about what this game actually was. I saw people flying around and like floating in the air. No idea why.
Well,
music is just playing.
When I saw Annapurna was the one producing this game, I was like, I know exactly what kind of game this is.
Depressing.
So, some sort of like
depressing story game.
Exactly.
Life is Strange, which we got another Life is Strange game.
Yeah.
In this,
I'm glad that she looks the same and not.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I just didn't like the direction was odd, because they got a bunch of really good 80s music, and then I had no idea what the game was about.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I think it was the 90s, though. It wasn't 90s music. They had 80s music.
I think it's because they had.
They definitely said go back to the 90s at one point.
Really? Okay, maybe
that's why it's mixtape with a bunch of mixed bags and mixed feelings. They don't really have it down.
Oh, nice.
I mean, the game is called Mixtape. They show a mixtape on top of a CD. I mean, I was in that era, and did I call CDs mixtapes? I don't think I did. And I made a bunch of mixed CDs, mixed albums. I made a bunch of them, and I didn't call them mixtapes. I made a bunch of mixtapes, and I actually called them mixtape 1, 2, and 3.
Never ever done that. Yeah, I've never burnt a CD.
Yeah, that's because when you're at the age where when you have to call a girl, you just text her. When I had to call a girl, I had to talk to her dad or her mom first. And I used to do push-ups to get pumped up just to do it, because I was scared to death to call a girl. I'd be like, oh, cool, girl number. Then I'd be like, I'm never calling this number.
I'm still nervous. You're going direct to the source.
A text message is so easy.
I'm still a little nervous.
Hey, what up?
You also can read in between the lines, which gets dangerous. Like if I put a period at the end of my sentence, I'm not happy.
You can get mixed feelings, I guess, from reading text messages, but you should be old enough to realize that text messages are completely different.
Yeah,
I would stutter so hard talking.
Really?
To and the dad would be like, "What are your intentions with my daughter?" Like, oh, what kind of question is that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I just
want to talk to her. It's a phone call.
I want to come over.
No.
The 2024 version of this game, by the way, is just called Playlist. That's what it is. Okay. Those were my disappointments. It was still, for the most part, like 80%, 85%, very good show.
Yeah.
From everybody. I think it was all very good stuff.
Probably the best show I've seen in years.
Since the E3 days, probably.
Yeah, since the PS3 version, generation, I should say.
Yeah, it's been good. Well, I'd say the PS4 one when they did God of War and all. That's like the marquee version. We got a lot of good games out of that, though. God of War, Ghost of Tsushima was shown at that. Good shows.
Now, you want to know what the next item I want to talk about? And the most
exciting
thing I learned last week came from this guy through a text message. Valorant is coming to console.
They announced it for console this week.
And I didn't believe you at first. I was like, yeah, but what did the official Valorant people say? It's real. So I know they were kind of thinking about, they mentioned a console port years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Man.
The game came out 4 years ago on PC.
That's crazy.
Then I knew they were currently making a mobile version of it. But then the console came, I was really excited. So beta comes out this Friday. And I got 5 codes already lined up. Now you can go to whatever.
Sign up,
link your Xbox account or your PlayStation account.
Yeah.
And you can get 5 beta codes for 5 friends or 4 friends and make a squad. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Don't count on it. So I had to call up friend.
He's got connections.
And
it's like getting into a club.
And so
Awesome.
I have some guaranteed codes. Hopefully,
I got some as well.
If
Or
mine don't,
one.
yeah, I'll
From
give you one.
my buddy Grant here. It's because I broke the news, and that's your gift to me.
I'll give it to you. I'm really excited. The way they're going about this, I think is pretty good and interesting, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Because I texted you and I said, if there's aim assist in this game, it's going to break it. Now this game's like Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
So if there's aim assist, it's just what's the point? Now there is aim assist, but from what I've seen, and I've seen a lot, it's very, I can't notice it, and I think it's off until you do focus mode, which is a mode while aiming that is somewhere in between ADS and hip firing.
Oh, I
It
see
kind
what
of
you're
makes
saying.
like a square over it, and it changes your sensitivity so you can find aim easier.
Yeah.
And I think that's when the aim assist kicks in. And even so, it's very unnoticeable. I haven't noticed any type of drag or anything.
I've seen a couple people play it because they got the opportunity, like, not influencers,
Yeah, and
that's
here-
the wrong word,
hey,
streamers or
Riot.
whatever. Hey,
Heads
Riot.
up. When you want to showcase your new game on console, don't hire a bunch of people who play your game on PC.
Yeah,
because
true.
they suck with controllers.
Yeah. That's a good
All of
point.
them, every single one of them that got invited to Riot Studios in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
they all were terrible console players.
Good. I didn't think about that.
They did not know how to use their thumbstick, so I couldn't tell how good the aiming was.
They should have gotten, I think, honestly, a better idea would have been people that have never played the game before that only play on console. So
Yeah.
like streamers like that, because then they're learning the game as you would have learned
Well,
the game.
they had a missed opportunity to call out people like Tim the Tatman.
Yeah. He plays on PC.
I know, but he knows how to play on a
he's a
controller.
big controller
Dr.
freak.
Disrespect plays on
Yeah.
PC, but he knows how to play on a
Nick
controller.
Merckx.
Nick Merckx, all
Yeah.
these guys that can play, that can dominate on a controller, and they also play Valorant.
Right. Yeah, true. That's a good point. That would have been better marketing.
I don't know why you didn't do that, because it's really hard for me to tell. Although otherwise,
Yeah.
I'd be very disappointed if I wasn't getting a beta this Friday. I'm
Yeah.
going to be able to find out myself, and I think they're going to be good. Now, the competition aspect that they have, their integrity for competition, it's still intact. So
I'm curious to see how.
I'm really happy about that.
I'm curious to see how they do the anti-cheat.
Yeah, they actually did mention it.
Oh,
they
they did?
mentioned
Okay.
their anti-cheat is called, oh man, what is it called? Vanguard.
Great name.
It's going to be on your Xbox, but it's not going to be obviously it's not going to be a root.
Right.
Thing.
In the back end or whatever.
No, it's going to be some sort of anti-cheat that's going to take away people with modded controllers, and most importantly, Zims and mouse and keyboard connectors modifiers. So
Right. Love
so
it.
I'm happy
I'm
about
in.
that. Yeah.
I'm excited to try it out because it is
I'm
first-person
a
shooter.
little disappointed in the fact that they don't offer the ability to do mouse and keyboard to play with the PC counterparts. It is
Yeah.
cross-platform, but only through console. And if I could just plug in, or if I ever just wanted to
Right.
play with my PC friends, even with a controller, why can't I?
I think it would be so hard to
you
make
don't
that.
need aim assist in there. Just
Right.
Get rid
I
of
just
it.
think it would be so hard to make that competitively balanced. Because especially if you're.
no, I know that, but if I can just play with a mouse and a keyboard with other mouse and keyboards on PC, what's
So
the difference?
you're like singling them out. So the keyboard people or the mouse and keyboard people always play with mouse and keyboard people.
yeah,
And not. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just
I-
throw them on the PC servers.
I also wonder if it would be harder for them to detect like cheaters
Yeah, that's true.
if
If there's some sort of
right
mod.
mouse and keyboard and mouse and keyboard connection.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, that's
I don't
coming.
know of any of them, but there. I didn't know that there were like wall hacks in Call of Duty on console, but there are.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Go back and play like Call of Duty World at War.
I know.
Like
That's
now,
just nonsense.
it's a disaster.
So that's my most anticipated game, might be of the year. It's coming out in August. I had no idea. I am not going to play anything. All that Concord nonsense I talked about last week. Who
yeah.
cares?
There we go. It's all over.
I am not
Yep.
interested in that game at all.
No longer.
Because I have Valorant, which is somewhat of a hero shooter, but mostly Counter-Strike. And I'm
That's a good point. I wonder
calling up my brother. Shout out Blair.
Yeah.
He's in the barracks, but fire up some internet connection, and we're going to be playing the crap out of this.
I wonder if Concord was pissed when they found out about this.
Oh, I hope so.
They were like, no, and then also Fragpunk.
Everybody.
But also,
Basically,
I'm so
everybody.
tired of
Anybody who has a
5v5.
free-to-play shooter, 5v5 shooter on console.
hero
good-
shooter, yeah.
Bye-bye. Here comes the.
Valorant.
I want to say
Unless-
the king, but
well,
maybe the queen. Here
hold
comes
on,
the
wait.
queen.
Unless it's not good, we might it's still got a port. We got to see the port. We'll see.
I have faith that
People probably thought about that when Counter-Strike was coming to console. And
No, I mean, I did.
Disaster.
That came out in 2012.
that was a mess.
That was a mess, but not because of the game itself. That it was launched dead in the water. I still played the heck out of it for years because it was awesome.
That is insane.
But because there was an issue with Microsoft back in the day where their Xbox Live arcade games, which is what this Counter-Strike game was,
which is so funny.
released under console.
The polar opposite of an arcade game.
Yeah, it had to be under 2 gigabytes.
Yeah.
It was so stupid. And there was a verification process for updating it. Microsoft it had to be a 2-week break, and they charged them an arm and a leg for it. So they were like, no. And ever since then, they have never updated a console game ever. Not Left 4 Dead 1,
Valve,
not 2,
talking?
yeah. Not not Team Fortress.
Yeah.
Anything in the orange box never been updated after that. They gave up and they've never mentioned console ever again since.
Rest in peace. We'll probably never get a console.
Good job, Microsoft. And then Microsoft changed those rules like a year later, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you're losing Valve. That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge developer. Valorant coming to console in August, right around the corner. My most anticipated game is still EA Sports College Football, but you know,
that's up there for me. I think that one's going to be good.
A lot of these games really were taking like hey, how about this? Because there was a lot of good games. Like I think Nobody Wants to Die looks really cool. The Gears game that's not coming out this year, but I thought the Shadow stuff that we saw for Assassin's Creed was very good. I thought it's gonna be a good year. I think
the animation for Assassin's Creed looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a very solid game. Assassin's Creed game.
Once they pull out one of those characters to go into Animus, and then they start being in the real world, I'm gonna be like, what?
I promise you, that's gonna be in there.
I know.
That's how they're pushing their story forward. Because all the other there's a lot of. Part of me wants Assassin's Creed just to ditch the real world story and just tell an older story, in that's happening in feudal Japan.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Isn't that funny?
All it needs.
That everybody wanted a feudal Japan Assassin's Creed, and they finally came out, and there's been like 17 of them.
It took them 15 years to do it, and now they're behind on the list.
You came out at the wrong time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's no, wait.
We're not going to do games rureleasing this week. There's 0.
What about playing?
Oh.
What are you playing?
Oh, dude, I'm playing a lot of games.
Fire it off real quick.
Oh boy,
you don't even know. I can give
Hellblade.
You mine.
I'm almost finished with Hellblade 2.
Okay.
I think it's actually pretty good. I'm not really that disappointed in it.
I don't think it's bad. It's okay.
I know that the story is probably not as good. At least in the beginning, it wasn't as good. I'm somewhere in the middle, and I like it. I haven't finished it because this was a game that the original me and my wife played, and we both loved it. And I've been wanting her to watch me play or play herself, and she just hasn't had time or any interest.
Gotcha.
So I've been holding it back, but now I'm just gonna beat it. Not gonna wait for her.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Melody. Not waiting for you.
Yeah.
So Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2, and then I'm playing a lot of competitive games. I started playing Valorant once I heard about it. I can't wait I went to go plug in my controller on the PC to do it, and it was a mess. Like obviously it's not compatible. So
yeah. Dangerous game.
I figured that they might have something, but no.
But the beta's coming Friday.
Yeah, and then me and Odin started playing more of Hogwarts.
Oh, great.
I think it's good.
There's a Quidditch game coming out too, but it's not.
It looked terrible.
Yeah, it's not with Hogwarts Legacy.
I know. I thought at first I was like, oh, they're adding the.
Yeah,
they make sure in the Hogwarts game, like there's no Quidditch this year.
No, somebody died or whatever.
Yeah. And which is hilarious because people die at that school
Quidditch
all the time.
Yeah, and it's Hogwarts. You kidding me?
There
was a guy with a face on the back of his head in the first year.
Yeah. And he was trying to kill the kindergartners.
The chosen one. Yeah, and he was 7 years old. Okay, so mine.
Yeah.
Started up a little playthrough of Bully.
Really?
It's great. I love Bully. It's awesome. Looks like garbage. It looks terrible. Has not aged well. But my God, if I don't love going to class in a video game and making chemistry and doing artwork and stuff like that,
you like
dude.
Persona?
No, because at least in Bully I can actually do some hand-to-hand combat and not take turns.
It's not very good.
It's not very good. No, but still fun. I like Bully. It's actually very well written. But he looks like I can't remember his name. Jimmy is the main character's name.
Yeah.
I really do think that Bully is a prequel to Grand Theft Auto 4 because then Jimmy turns into Brucey because he looks exactly like Brucey.
Yeah, but they
It's
don't act
so
the same.
weird.
They don't act the same. Brucey's like hyped up.
He's on steroids. Yeah. I mean, Jimmy just gets into a steroid.
I think he looks more like the Lost and the Damned guy.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Yeah. What's his name?
I can't remember either. He dies though.
Dies
very quickly and early on.
In Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah.
Dies real fast.
Yeah.
Trevor kills him.
Screw you, Trevor. And then also Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm continuing a playthrough I started a while ago.
Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah.
My God.
That game is so... when I go back to that game, I'm blown away. One, that it's even available to play on older consoles because of the amount of detail that is in that game. It is unbelievable. And also, like...
Wow, look at this. Look at those clouds.
It's not even
look
that,
at those
though.
trees
It's
over there.
like,
Let's go over those trees.
Stop it. It's
5 hours later.
So beautiful. Like, just like, I don't think I've ever played a game that's as beautiful as that. Just in terms of, I don't know, when you're coming out of like a misty sunrise or something like that, it's so pretty. It's so gorgeous.
I think Ghost of Tsushima looks better.
I mean, it's up there. I'll give you that. Sure. But I mean,
I think
and the fact that it runs at 60 frames as well is unbelievable. And I think also
60 frames?
Red Dead, the Series X compatible one, runs at 60 frames, sir.
Red Dead Redemption 1.
2. There's a 60 frames.
No, there isn't.
It's a performance enhancer.
No, there isn't.
Which is why I take every day. But you can run it at 60 frames, sir.
No, you can't.
Almost positive. I'm almost
You're
100%
not.
positive.
Oh, it's a zero. I'm a very 100% positive. It's a 30 frame game.
But it's so... the amount of detail that is in the game. The thing that makes me worried is
there was a Xbox Series X and PS5 version coming out, but Rockstar canceled it.
I thought they put the FPS boost in the game, though.
If they did it under my radar, which happens a lot.
I think they did. I don't know. I don't remember either. But I mean, it's just
you can widen the field of view, which that's probably what.
Oh, maybe that's what I did.
It does feel faster. Yeah, it helps so much. So maybe that's what you're doing.
Maybe that is what I did. But just like the detail that comes with like when you shoot an animal and like the skinning process looks incredible.
Yeah,
just all of it. It looks so good. And like the gore that happens when you shoot somebody in like the shoulder and the bullet hole splurts blood and whatnot.
It's really cool.
Amazing. And the thing that makes me a little nervous.
The what do they call the magnetized cover?
Oh yeah,
from 2004.
Nah, it's not great.
Where you want to get around the other side, but your character is too dumb.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I don't disagree with that.
I think I think I've been saying it a long time. I think it's the worst controlled video game in the history of video games. I don't think it's right there with Superman 64.
Not the worst control, but there is definitely a delay to what's happening with your character versus what the inputs that you're putting in.
It's 100% big delay.
I will say, like, when you go into a store in that game, the fact that you can like almost touch everything that's in the store, unbelievable.
Really cool. We always accidentally run into the store and the door like swings open,
and they're like, "Whoa, howdy, partner!"
You're like, "I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm playing this game with the worst controls ever."
I will say it makes me nervous for GTA 6 because there's no way in a more packed environment that they're going to be able to match that sort of like detail. There's no way. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to like dumb it down a little bit more for GTA 6. Well, because there's just more players and there's more buildings, there's more vehicles and all that stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
I think GTA 6 is slated to come out for probably next gen consoles. If I'm going to be honest with you,
I think so too.
That would make the most sense. But anyways,
yeah,
that's it.
You gotta go.
We probably went over on time, but you know, whatever. Big week.
I don't have a lot of work to do, James.
Whatever. All right, we'll see you guys next week. We're going to be talking about next week how important peanut butter and jelly sandwiches became to American culture.
Yeah. Hey, good job on 50 episodes.
50 episodes. Hey, here's to 250 more.
Yeah.
And then once we get to 300, we're done. Just kidding. See you guys next week.
Peace.